And, I mean, what can you really do to prove it? There's not jack that you can do if it's been hacked that you can prove it with. That's part of the point of hacking. And, you know, what can you do to prove it? What can you do to disprove it's been hacked? Well, there's a lot of shady things about the account. The account has apparently been open for years, and yet he has no posts, no activity whatsoever. Supposedly he has updated various parts of the account without actually ever posting, which would mean it's important enough of an account that he's going to put his information on there, and he's going to update a Second Life account and everything, but he's never going to post? That would be a little bit of counter logic. And not only that, assuming for a moment that it was hacked, if you hack the date on it, I mean, what's to say that you couldn't have added that information at whatever time, alright? It's just a baby step from there. But ultimately, I mean, can you really consider it hacked or not? It's really hard to say. It's a possibility, but it's also a possibility that's not hacked. With phishing attempts and real life digging up of his personal information and the timing, it does put it in definite suspicion, but you can't say it's hacked either. So, I mean, it's not proof or disproof in that situation. And, I mean, I guess that's what it all comes down to. You have suspicion over him possibly being a zoophile, but you don't have anything actually saying that he's a zoophile. Hell, even the account itself, say he made it and he had it up there. It's been mentioned that there's a YIF section, which you have actually proved that he has YIF. And it's been mentioned, hey, guess what? There's no activity on it. You can't even say that he's gone on there and looked at anything. And you can't. You really can't. And knowing Wolfie from this war and everything, and how active he's been and such, I mean, it just seems kind of hard to believe he would have this account for 3 years, or however long it is on the account, and not make a single post. Not a single one. I mean, what the hell is that? I honestly don't see him being quiet for that long. Yeah. And, you know, there's a lot of things going back and forth about it, but when it comes down to it, the major thing here is the burden of proof. And I know you say, why should he get the burden of proof? Why shouldn't he? The whole reason that the burden of proof there is to prevent accusations from sticking without serious evidence behind them. When you have serious evidence behind them, you have to disprove the evidence. You need more than just your personal testimony. However, as kind of covered here, the evidence is pretty shaky. It's got flaws from multiple angles. I mean, it's just not something that I can use as proof. If you gave me something better, I could stand with the trolls against Wolfie and be like, hey, just admit that you're a zoophile. But honestly, there's nothing here that really points to that. It provides suspicion, but it never says, you know, okay, he did it. Look, see? And that's what you need to do if you're going to prove something and overcome the burden of proof. You have to show they did it. You can't say, hey, it's likely he did it. This gang robbed the bank. He was part of that gang, therefore, he did it. No, you have to show he was there with the gang robbing the bank. Maybe he's suspicious for being in the gang, but, you know, you have to show he's there. Now, obviously, that's just a random parallel I came out with, just randomly, but it's about right. Let's see, what else here? Okay, continuous flagging, that's nothing new. Dayland obviously deserves it. Paxel Rose, not really. Alright, you claim, oh, and then there was a prove it claim by saying, alright, I made another account, hack it. What fucking idiot would hack that site? If you're capable of hacking something, are you going to hack something that's watched? Hell no. That's like walking into a bank, looking at all the police officers, and deciding to rob the bank. It's fucking stupid. Nobody's going to take up that challenge. Nobody. And let's see here, I mean, then you have, I guess, Amazing Platypus that went and hacked the ED site, Encyclopedia Dramatica, the one I'm reading right now. Really, honestly, he admitted that he really wasn't that good at it, and he got caught and pwned. But he was still able to hack it. I mean, I can't really think that the forums would be that much more secure. It's a freaking site for people posting up words back and forth. It's not serious. Hell, in fact, there's a bestiality site. I'd say it was a little bit less serious than most sites, and they probably care a little bit less about security. But overall, forums and security, not really so much, unless they obviously go through a lot of effort to keep the site from being hacked. And even then, it would be nothing like the security you have around something else. And let's see what else here. Cloud 801. Now, honestly, Cloud, I haven't really seen a whole lot of him. What I have seen about him, he seems in kind of an odd position. It doesn't seem like perhaps a solid position either. I don't even think he has truly a lot of confidence in himself about what he's saying. I think he's still unsteady and unsure about many things. But due to some of the actions that Wolfie makes, I can't really blame him for not wanting to stand with him sometimes. Wolfie's overreacted a few times here and there. Well, more than a few times, honestly. And let's see. Oh yeah, and then that goes on about Wolfie being friends with the wet rabbit who has made some stupid things, which is about right. It's probably entertaining for Wolfie. But, just like his friends with Vika Mouse, whatever Vika Mouse and the wet rabbit say does not directly come from Wolfie, it comes from them. They might be his friends, and I mean, you know, you can try the guilt by association, but ultimately you're judging him for him. And then they finally cap it off with Wolfeedarkfang and Sylvester Fox. Alright, Wolfeedarkfang, he was entertaining. I'll admit that much. But his videos were disgusting. They deserved to be flagged and deserved to be banned. Not because he wasn't funny, but because they just went a little bit too far for YouTube. If you wanted to post them somewhere else and have that kind of sick humor, fine. But it doesn't deserve to be on YouTube, and no one that's not specifically looking for it, which why they would watch it otherwise, should see that. And honestly, who really wants to see that anyways on YouTube? Now, half of his videos were just downright funny. About the other half of each video, they're just disturbing, disgusting. And of course, you know my opinion on Sylvester Fox's Lord of the Dance. He fucking is. Get over it. I tried to outdance him and I got served. Sylvester Fox's Lord of the Dance. And now, hopefully, people will respond to Ultraforge and his More Troll Lies video. And that about wraps it up for controversy. And I'm sure I'll have to cut this into 2 parts. But, what can I say? There's been plenty of wrong on both sides of this issue. But trolls have really gone too far, honestly. You dig up real life information, you're trying to promote suspicion as fact, you've done phishing, it's possible that you've done hacking. I'm not going to say that you did, but it's very possible. And it's not really that big of a step up from phishing. Especially with all the new programs that are coming out nowadays to make shit easier. People can write viruses on a whim now. And, I mean, just honestly, he's far from like the shining example of a person, but trolls have been so much worse in the controversies, and that's all I really got to say about that.